Imagine, if you will, 4 6-year-old boys. They came from 3 different classrooms in the same school. On an almost daily basis, they would throw things around the classroom, sometimes directly at people, swear, run out of the room and into the hallway, hit people, kids, and sometimes even their teachers, really creating disruption in the learning environment, making it impossible for them to learn, but also making it difficult for the other students to learn. In March, these 4 boys were referred to a dance therapy group with me. Normally, if I was going to start a trauma group with kids, I would have started it in October, November, and had the whole school year. So here we are in March. I have about 8 times to see them. And I figured I needed to get started right away or I wasn't going to get any progress. So first challenge, getting them from their classrooms up to the therapy room without them running away, yelling and swearing in the hallway, running into somebody else's classroom. But once they were in the movement room, they loved to move. And we were quickly able to establish a routine of a movement warm-up, of them showing favorite movements, of demonstrating feelings with movement charades. But I figured I needed to get right into the meat of the matter. And I decided to jump in with both feet, doing a technique I call externalization. I asked each of the boys if they could imagine taking the anger outside of themselves, if they could, and they could make it into a statue, how big would it be and what would it look like? I asked them to show me with their arms, how wide it would be, how tall it would be, to use words if they wanted in terms of whether it was smooth or jaggedy or what color it was. After each boy took a turn to show me, we realized that each of the kids made their statues bigger than they were. In other words, their anger was larger than life. I gave each kid a small pillow, and I told them to imagine that this large statue was on that pillow and to find a place in our room to put it. So they walked around the room, they each found a spot, and I asked them to experiment moving close to this statue, like right up to it, and then moving as far away from the room as they could get. Running up to it, crawling up to it, moving around it, circling it, just experimenting all different ways and seeing as they did this, how did it feel in their body? What was it like to get right up close to it? What was it like when they were further away from it? What was it like when they raced right up to it? So after they did this for a little while, we sat down and I asked them, I said, we don't have a lot of time left. If you could do one last thing with your statue, what would it be? And as one, all 4 boys said, smash it to bits, destroy it. Now this didn't really surprise me because most kids that I work with that have major anger issues, they get in trouble with their anger. Their anger gets them in trouble, they would like to destroy that. They would like to get rid of their anger. But I talked to them about the fact that anger is important. It tells us what we like and what we don't like. When we need to stand up for something, it helps us make decisions. So we tried to imagine, what if instead of destroying our anger, we looked at the anger, like, was the anger going to control us, and that was when it was bigger than life, or were we going to control the anger? So what if that anger was smaller? They kind of pictured, we drew a little bit of like the anger being a small creature that lived in a cage inside of them. And the cage had bars so they could listen to the anger. The anger could talk to them, tell them what was important, but the anger couldn't take over. And we talked about how sometimes if they felt real strongly about something, those bars might get weak. And that would be the time to go take a break, to build up the bars again. So an hour after that session, one of the boys had a class with me. And I saw their class every other week for social emotional skills. This boy normally would be running out of the room, wouldn't manage to stay for the class. The kids in the class were each taking a turn to lead the whole class, non-verbally, by doing different movements. And there was a list, a class list, and I could see this kid, he was getting anxious, he wanted his turn, he wanted it now. Kind of went over to him and I said, okay, this is what we just talked about in our group. If the anger controls you, you're going to run out of the room like you did last week. You won't get a turn. If you control the anger, you're going to talk to that anger. You're going to say, I know you want to go now. I know I want my turn right away, but look at the list. There are only 3 people left. You can wait. You can hang on, anger, and then you'll still get a turn. It's up to you. I was shocked, but he waited his turn, he got it, he felt really good about himself. Within the next few weeks, I kept hearing reports back from these teachers that all 4 of these boys had really made changes in how the frequency and the intensity of their anger outbursts. That somehow this idea of looking at the fact that they weren't their anger wasn't all of them. It was a part of them. And that they could look at it, they could move with it, they could think about it, they could even draw a picture of it living inside of them as only one piece. Somehow gave them more of a sense of control and ability to work with it.